Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the inevitable pool of the vacuum. Goblets and Gays have returned to the world of Alien using Free League Press's incredible Alien RPG with the second season of Mother May I. My name is Farris, I use she, her pronouns, and I am honored to be back as your game mother. This is episode 7. Stay strong, Fleshbags. So now let's reacquaint ourselves with the stalwart crew of the Hera while they remain.
Hello, I'm Dusty. I use they, he pronouns, and I'm playing Martin Estrada, trying to keep their sanity together with one piece of bubblegum right now. Uses he and pronouns.
Hello, I am Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm playing Daniel Strauss, who is shockingly not dead yet. Daniel uses he, him pronouns.
Hello, I am Navar, and I am playing, I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Tank Mechi, who also uses he, him pronouns, and also doesn't bleed red blood. So here we are.
Here we are indeed.
It appears as though I've experienced a system shutdown. Attached to this file is an upload link for a set of code. Plugging this code into Weyland Yutani's main system will provide you with access to the executive's computers and possibly find a way to win the union dispute. I came up with it before we left, but it felt like cheating. It's in your hands now, and your morality is your own. I hope you thought of me as a member of this crew. I certainly believed I was. And a fine crew it is. Except Dan, stay strong, Fleshbags.
Abigail Grease drives one of the trucks through the near constant blizzards on HFO, trying to thread the needle of drivable landscape and thin ice obscuring a gorge. The vehicle's instruments cut in and out, interacting in weird ways with the weather and the planet itself. She's always felt this whole bloody planet was cursed. The company is going to have her head for this. Jason and the new folk actually succeed, but she'd rather be fired and sued than get 120 people killed under her watch. There's been too many deaths already. None of them wanted to be here except maybe friggin' Jason. One hand on the wheel, she reaches for the radio again, paging the construction site for the 6th time. Why did nothing ever work on this frozen hellscape? This is Abigail Grease, facility manager at the only other site on this godforsaken planet. The facility has been compromised and we need immediate evacuation for 3 crews of 40. That's 120 people over. Hello? Does anyone read me? This is Abigail Grease. The radio crackles, a voice cutting over the frequency with utmost precision. We read you, Miss Grease. How fortuitous I happen to be in the area collecting my colleague. You can continue to make your way to the construction site if you wish, but it would be more convenient for you to turn around now. Over. Reese nearly skids out. The response catches her so off guard. Yes, I read you. Thank God, who is this? This is the RSS Demeter. We'll be beginning our descent shortly. Do try not to die before we arrive. I'll burn out. Grease leans over the wheel for a moment, processing her emotions, then wheels the truck around and heads back toward the facility. We left all of you in the hallway of the main facility, very near what they call the hen house. A corridor of doors right before the exit, the lift, and the stairs, which has just now become blocked off as the lockdown was enacted. And the facility went into a low power mode that shuts all of the doors. While you're in this area, I think there's enough of you that some of you must have noticed when you came in that Medbay was one of the places you passed on your right. On the right would have been Medbay, and on the left it looks like it is, for lack of any other term, a tool shed.
Okay.
And you do see that, like, some of the, once the, like, news of the lockdown spreads to the ranks of like the other factory workers, a couple of them do start like breaking into the storage locker and coming out with like bolt cutters and maintenance jacks and like makeshift weapons. These are tools, but they're definitely going to be used as weaponry.
I think Tank's going to walk over to Billy. I know you said that the lockdown will shut all the doors. If we get into the med bay and use the computer, can we access this door and unlock it?
Probably not, but we might be able to see what else we can get online.
I have a SSDD. I could maybe try to get this door open.
Yeah, you know what? Worth a shot. It'll be difficult to get through there without the facility manager override. And as far as I know, the facility manager is upstairs. So it's obviously for safety reasons. So if there is one of these situations, we don't kill everyone upstairs.
Why? Daniel, you're good with computers. Why don't you try to get systems online? I could try to get through this door.
Yeah,
Well, in the meantime,
that's a good idea. But before we do that, Daniel just points to the hole in the ceiling and says, "What's that way?"
But upstairs?
Yeah, the room that's through that hole. What's that room?
Yeah, Billy looks at that and goes, I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. And
Okay,
then does little like chicken arms and goes, "Ah."
I'm gonna go try to get doors open. So I think I'm going into the med bay. Is that right?
Sure. You absolutely can do that.
yeah, I'll try to use the device to open this door right here.
Tank will just suggest to Benson and Bugsley that they follow Dan, and will stay, and then Tank will stay with Martin.
Okay, excellent.
Well, I'm gonna roll Comtech.
Yes, so we are splitting up, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Marvelous. Yes, you go into the med bay. Conveniently, the door is open. There is somebody in there when you come in. It's the medic, like the doctor on hand, who like freaks out, and like comes like around the corner with like a scalpel, and then sees it as like a human. Who are you? Who are you?
Dan is like walking and talking and like going to the console as he answers the question. I'm Daniel Strauss. I'm from Weyland-Yutani Earth offices. I work in the HR department.
Oh my gosh, I sent
and
HR.
Right now, I'm gonna try to get the doors open.
Hey. Did my transfer go through? Is that why you're here? Am I finally getting off this place?
Could you, if you give me just a moment, I can check your name and your employee number, and I can get that. I can pull that information up, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm typing as I'm talking.
This place is so bad, and all the people, they're so scruffy.
Yeah, I'm. You know, I think I see what you mean, and it does seem like this is a really rough assignment. So I'm gonna do what I can to actually just get us all out of here.
You have no idea. Everyone comes in, and their acid burns, or they've been stabbed, or they come in and they just give me a corpse. They're like alive, but they're gonna be a corpse, and they're like, "Here, make something out of this." And I'm like, "That's a body. There's an alien in it."
You know what? I'm just gonna take a point of stress listening to this person talk.
Go for it. Yeah, so what'd you roll in your Comtech?
I got 1 success on my Comtech.
Okay.
You tell me what that does.
I will say that it will not open the door to upstairs. but it will allow you to open other doors from here. You can pick what door you'd like to open. I'll let you see the map for a little bit here to pick your doors. Be aware, some of the hallways are not accurate because they're not. But the basic layout should be accurate. So you
Okay.
have doors to the coop, hen room, implantation, shipping, meat packing, death alley, packaging. Those are your basic areas that you can open or close right now. Unless you wanted to do something other than doors.
Okay. So I have no way upstairs, but we could go through. If we go through shipping, meat packing, and packaging, there is a ship we can get to.
Mhm.
And if we go through the hen room, that is effectively a dead end because there's no way up. So in that case, I'm going to call Martin on the comm and just say, "Hey, so I can open one door. I think it would be a bad idea if I open the door to the hen room. So I think
Yeah.
so. I'm going to open the door to shipping.
Is there a ship that way or a way out?
Well, there's the crappy ship that might get us to the construction site.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have a way upstairs, and I don't want to see what lays those eggs.
I do. Well, I guess let's go through shipping. Yeah. That sounds good. I'll try opening that up. I'll try to get this door through. And maybe we could just get that to construction, get more ships, get better ships. I don't know.
So I'm gonna open that door to shipping.
Okay. You managed to open the door to shipping.
I look back at the doctor and I go, "What was your name again?"
Fair enough. Yeah. So, Dan comes out a little while later with Bugsley and Benson and a doctor, which is probably useful, frankly. And yeah, Billy kind of like looks up expectantly. She has been at like the end of the hall, focused on like the holes, like the hole in the ceiling, and has she has a bolt gun that is just being aimed in that general direction, and there is another factory worker standing with their back to her. So go ahead and give it a comm tech to try to force it open. Just basic comm tech, no plus or minus here.
Tech. I got 2 successes.
Okay, so you get the door open to like the basic area, but it looks like it's only the door to the lift, which is not running right now.
Hey, maybe I get new or unexpected information.
Oh, it's unexpected, all right.
No. Oh dear. This is the door to the lift.
To the lift, yeah. So this opens, the door opens, and you kind of lean forward, and you see like a little foyer. And there's like another door that leads to the stairs, which looks like it's sealed. And then there's the elevator shaft, which is not closed off in any way. It's like an old miner shaft with like the gate kind of elevator, so there's not a lot of sequestering. And you hear like steady banging. It'll be like bang, 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 and then like silence and like just soft scuttling noises and like weird hissing noises, and then bang, 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 and echoing down the shaft. That's your new and unexpected information.
I close this door.
Yeah, you can close it.
I'm gonna close this door, and I turn around and look at Tank. It's like, that sounded bad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a viable option right now.
Not gonna. Nope. Closing that up, locking it. Can I lock it twice?
It's as locked as it's gonna be.
Cool. I guess let's go find that other door. Yeah.
Yeah, let's head to the shipping area.
Yeah. So you are going to set off. I'm going to need another mobility check here.
That's 9 dice for the listener with 0 successes.
On the
I think
right
this thing's
side,
rigged. I think this is rigged because how do we never get more than 2 successes?
you're all making your way along. Billy and Tank are kind of leading the pack, pointing out places where there's something loose, like part of the ceiling gateway or something that could cause noise, or just generally being like, look out for that, with silent commands as the whole group shuffles through. And there is a moment where one of the factory workers trips, and there's panic that kind of like spreads quickly as everyone thinks they're going to fall and make a lot of noise, but somebody else reaches out and catches them, and then everybody looks down to see what they tripped over, and it is an arm, just an arm, and everyone looks up, at least all the factory workers do. And it does look like there is a ventilation shaft that has been opened. And you all keep going. But yeah, if anyone's concerned about limbs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we? Yeah, I would like to make an observation roll or something to
Sure.
make sure there's whatever ripped that thing off and took an arm is
Can
Like
I
everything
also
but the arm.
going to
Good.
ambush us.
can I also observe, please?
Sure. You can absolutely observe.
I'm going to observe. I'm stunting on observation.
All right. Yeah, so what is your stunt first, and then we'll talk about what you see.
Perhaps, are there more of them close by? Is a good question.
You notice the arm and the little ripple of unease that spreads through their ranks, and the vent above are facing towards the shipping area, while most of the group is looking back towards the arm. And you see the flash of movement that cuts through some of the emergency lighting that's on.
Martin puts her arm up and starts tapping Tank's arms, Tank. I think there's one in the emergency lights.
Tank is just going to have both guns up, trying to track as best as he can whatever the moving shape is in the emergency lighting, and just whisper, "Hey, look up, ceiling."
A lot of eyes go up. Those who have long-range weapons aim them up. And yeah, everyone is there's about half the group looks towards you, Tank, and half the group looks towards Billy for instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy kind of glances back at you all the way, and then does a shrug, that's where we gotta go.
I mean, it makes more sense for us to just stay as a group. So if they're not going to run, then we'll just continue to follow at the same pace. But yeah, I mean, I think Tank at least is not. He's watching the ceiling and trying to find out where this thing is more than he's paying attention to where he's going on the ground. And just kind of like using his peripheral vision to make sure he's staying in line with everybody else.
Sure. As you're walking along, continuing towards the shipping area, which, to be clear, is where the shadow was moving.
Right. It's so good.
But also, that's your exit, so...
Yeah.
Start to creep into the shipping area, which is this large warehouse-sized room that just has a bunch of these big metal crates, probably made from some very specific kind of metal. And they all are in these neat little rows with like large packaging information taped to the side with like their shipping info. And there's this big overhead crane, like a enormous claw machine that probably moves them around, and a forklift. And all of them look, on this row, the closest row you can see, they look fine. But there's like 4 rows of these things. But you did pass your roll, so you feel very stealthy. This group feels very stealthy at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, once we're in. Okay, so sorry, and I apologize. I know you just described this. Paying attention sometimes is hard, but it is in this space. Is there a ship, or do we still need to continue to move to the next space?
No, on the... hang on, let me translate image into words. So you're coming in, and the building is situated like north to south, like lengthwise.
Okay.
And on the south, you're coming in on the east, so door on the east, right? And so on the south, there is one of those big roll-up doors. So presumably the ship is outside.
Outside there, okay.
And the doors just open and shut as necessary.
Okay. So can we just is it like push button? We can just push it, or do we need to get into the computer to open that door as well?
You'll need to walk over to it and then figure out what it is. It's a large warehouse. None of these boxes are small. They're all quite big.
For sure. Okay.
And the lighting down here is just down to emergency lights, so it's like maybe every 5th light is on.
Okay. I think Tank's gonna just like kind of gather the group, his group, around, and to the 4 of them, just be like, okay, let's make our way over to this door. If there's a ship left, it's presumably should be out here. So.
Right, that's good.
And we'll press the roll up button.
Okay. Before that, I'm gonna need a mobility check to make it there quietly, because you do have to cover quite a lot of ground. You all make your way very quietly along the rows of these large metal, untouched crates, creeping from shadow to shadow, passing under occasional pools of light. And the room is very quiet except for your footsteps and your breathing. You don't hear anything else. The rest of the factory has gone quiet. You don't hear the distant machinery. You don't hear anything at all. When you approach the door, and there's a button, a little roll-up button. You push the button, and the door starts to lift with a loud screeching noise and the rattle of metal, and it gets about a foot off the ground before it comes to a halt.
I mean, can we see like what is blocking it?
You're unsure, because where it retracts up into the ceiling, is. Oh wait, this would probably well, it doesn't matter. It's gonna act like a garage door because that's easier for me.
Yeah.
Is in the dark, and the nearest light is like 30 feet away, so it's not well illuminated. You could find a light and shine it up there.
Or we could just crawl under the door. That's like 20 by 20, and weighs over 1,000 pounds. So
I'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be great. I think then what Tank's going to do is there anything around that would fit under the gap that would be thick enough that would give us a sense of security if the door decided to come back down?
Yeah, sure. You can find like a toolbox. Like a big toolbox.
Yeah, a big toolbox. Okay. Yeah,
just
so
enough to fit under the gap, and it's metal.
Yeah.
It'd buy you enough seconds to keep rolling.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that's what Tank's going to do. Put that like right in the corner, and then just, and then crouch, lay down, and check to make sure there's nothing else on the other side before we start sending people across.
Yeah. While you're lying down, those of you who are standing, I need you to make an observation check. One of you still standing.
Well, I have breakthrough as a talent, which means I could just succeed at an observation check once per session. And I think I will use that right now.
Sure, totally. There is a shape perched on top of one of the crates. Not the row you walked past, but one of the deeper rows. But it is... correction. Not in the column you walked past, but it is in one of the front rows close to you. There's just something crouched like a gargoyle on top. It's very difficult to see because it seems to also be black in the shadows. But there's just a little outline of light catching the top of its carapace.
Okay. Martin is like kind of like shock silence, is going to like, I don't know, maybe motion at like Billy to like point it out.
Billy follows your eye line and like squints a bit and then like goes really wide-eyed and like starts snapping her fingers and like points. And yeah, it's gonna get real chaotic, but it's time for initiative. Our dear friend that you spotted perched up in a way is going to act first. It leaps towards Billy, and in the scant light you watch it jump, and you all get a good view of it then. This massive creature with this long, elongated head and these spines coming out of its back, and these long claws and this tail that just swings out behind it and ends in this barbed spear. And it lands very gracefully. And the mouth opens and the metal teeth split. And then you see the pharyngeal jaw inside start to emerge. Just, you watch as the xenomorph jumps into view, like hisses horribly. The other jaw emerges and just crushes her skull, and Billy is dead. Tank, you're up.
But I think what I'll do now is just grab the nearest person's leg.
Okay.
And pull them down, which it looks like Dan is probably the one that's right next to me. So I'm just going to grab Daniel's like pant and pull in the direction of like get under the door and go out. And then so for my slow action, I will shoot at the xenomorph.
Okay.
Success.
Okay. Oops, sorry. I forgot to roll my armor. Oh, unfortunately, it seems to it pierces through Billy, and it doesn't seem to make impact on the actual xenomorph. Great. That's going to bring us to our second xenomorph. This one is going to move in, and it's just kind of going to land in the group of you all here. There's so many NPCs to choose from, and non-NPCs, so let me give it a little... Perfect. Dan it is. It's going to roll to attack. And Dan, as you're being, pulled on to, crouch down and crawl underneath, you make more or less eye contact with the xenomorph as it, lands right in front of you. It just whips its head around. They have no eyes, and yet you feel like it is staring deep into your soul. And it is honestly a terrifyingly beautiful creature in many ways. And you stand in awe of what nature or God or the devil has created. So add 1 to your stress level and give me an immediate panic roll, as you have a moment with the xenomorph. I'm reading from the thing, okay? I'm not making all this up.
No, I believe you. Oh, good. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 because I'm trembling so much.
I'm sure that's fine. Yeah. So that's you. That's it. Then it is gonna be a third xenomorph drops from the ceiling. Seems to be what stopped the door from opening.
What?
And lands right next to Martin.
Hey, what?
So it attacks with its tail. If it causes any damage, which it did, the xenomorph pulls its punch, so only 1 point of damage is inflicted, and the paralyzing venom takes effect. So please give me a stamina roll. This is called Capture for the Hive. You're going back to Mother. Mama wants you.
No, I think not.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Bugsley's turn. I think while Bugsley is acting, some NPCs are running for their life. Some are starting to crawl underneath. When an NPC goes, 6 other, at least 1 other NPC goes, so that should at least cover most of them. Bugsley is gonna do, she pulls up her gun, she starts to shoot, and the bullet makes impact on, we'll say this one. And yeah, you all watch as the bullet pierces through, under the jaw, and there's this spray of green, and it whips its head in all of your directions. And I think for their second action, they're just gonna push someone towards the door. They're gonna go over and try to force the door open manually. They're gonna get in position to try to force the door open manually. Benson is smart enough. There's a crowd by the door and a lot of xenomorphs by the door, so Benson's actually going to run for this other door. Not abandoning you, just trying to find another exit. And we'll use 1 action to run, 1 action to open the door. Friends. Not friends. Xenomorph. Already nicely in range of so many people. It was already going after... Sorry, this is the one going after Dan. So Dan, it shall stick with... I love some of these attacks. They're so funny. The xenomorph in front of you, Dan, that just had locked eyes with you in a mesmerizing way, kicks off the ground, leaps up, and slams you against the door. You drop anything you're holding, but you don't take any damage, as it just drops you to the ground and then stands over you. You get another +1 to your stress, and you get to make another immediate panic roll.
Oh, good. I love to do that. I feel like the only thing I've done in this campaign is make panic rolls. So that's panic condition. Seek cover. I have to use my next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible.
So he's so fair. You're allowed to make a retreat roll if you have an enemy in engaged range. You do have an enemy in engaged range.
My stress level goes down by 1, but the stress level of every friendly PC in short range increases by 1.
Tragic.
All right.
So
is
that's
self-fucked.
that's gonna be fine for now. Martin, he's just labeled as Dusty. Sorry about that. You're here.
Martin, like, did Martin feel the numbing effect immediately?
Yeah, I mean, you just got stabbed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you're starting to, like, your fingers and toes are starting to feel a little weird.
I think honestly the reaction is just to use their pistol in their hand and just like shoot the one I hit him, like ah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll to
I got 2 successes.
Is your gun also armor piercing?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I rolled 4 successes on armor. You are somehow at point blank range shooting, and none of it's making impact, which is somehow more terrifying than if you had missed, because every bullet finds its spot. Just none of them seem to dig past the armor. You have a second action, though.
I'm right next to the door. Could I try to help open it up?
Yes.
Because that's what Bugsley is doing. Benson, one of the other B names.
Benson.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need a mobility check from you to disengage from the xenomorph that is breathing down your neck. Well,
I rolled a 1, so I'm gonna roll that stress.
give me that panic.
4. No. Drop item. Oh, this is sounding very familiar now.
What do you drop?
The only thing I'm holding is my fucking gun.
Okay.
So
your gun clatters to the ground as you try to like retreat and go help Bugsley with the door, but you just shot this thing and it did nothing. Nothing. There's 3 of them. And it's the xenomorph's turn.
Yeah.
It's gonna attack you, Martin. It just is.
Yeah.
Let's
right
see
there.
what it did. Deadly grab. Oh no. This is what happened to Caroline. As you like try to retreat and like just keep bumping into people and you drop your gun, there's just so many people crowded here, all the factory workers and your crewmates. The xenomorph just keeps stepping forward with very deliberate steps, and then all of a sudden it lunges, grabs you with its like claws, and runs and like leaps up onto one of the shipping containers, and you are out of sight. We'll find out what happens to you later. I do need you to make me another panic roll, though. You have to make an immediate panic roll.
Okay, sure. Freeze.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm frozen by fear. Strange enough, huh?
Marvelous. Dan.
So, is this xenomorph just standing over me, or is it like actively pinning me?
It's just standing over you. It's called like play with its food or something like that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to retreat, so I'm gonna roll this mobility at a -2 because of my panic. That's 4 6s. Okay.
That's so many 6s. Nice. Heck yes. Yeah, you are. Where are you seeking cover? Are you crawling underneath? Are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm just rolling under the door. Just
Okay.
like full, like, just like not even crawling, just rolling.
Perfect. Yeah, you just roll all over to the other side, and the only thing that's comforting you now is the fact that it's a much bigger creature than the 1 foot gap. Don't think about the vents. Don't think about the vents. Don't think
Yeah.
about the vents. These things are surely not like cats where they can just go through whatever size of their head.
That's fine. I am going to put myself on the other side of this door where I can no longer see anyone.
Absolutely. Please do.
And I should have one action left, right? So
Yes.
I'm just going to go in my bag and jab myself in the arm with another nap relief.
Smart. Okay, xenomorph number 1 is gonna do. I think the first action is it's going to attack some random NPCs, some factory people who get you. Watch as it drops Billy's body and leaps into the fray, pounces on another one, flattens them to the ground. In the same way it did to Dan. And then as we move to its next turn, at the top of round 2, is going to attack Tank here. So it reaches out with like 1 foot on the NPC. It's gonna be Aegis, the little kid. He's not that little. He's 16, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1 foot on Aegis's chest, reaches out and grabs you, Tank, with the metal teeth parting, the pharyngeal jaw extending towards you, and is going to roll to attack. Oh boy, that's 4. You are grabbed, and I need you to make a close combat roll against what I just rolled. So you need 4 successes to break loose. No dice. Well, 1 dice, but not enough dice. The victim and all friendly characters in the same zone must make panic rolls. Honestly, Dan, you're on the other side of the door, so I don't think you even see this. I think you're safe. So nobody makes a panic roll today except for non-player characters. So that's going to bring us to you, actually, because Billy's dead.
Can I just shoot it
You could.
instead?
If it doesn't kill it, though, you are still going to be grabbed.
Right. I just have a higher chance of success at shooting it, killing it, than I do at breaking free. All right,
Except
I'll
for
just try
speed.
to break out. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it. First of all, that was way too many dice on the screen for the fact that I only rolled 5 dice. But yeah, 0 successes.
And it did roll.
I don't think there's anything I can do, right? Because I can't shoot
You can
it.
do a grapple attack. Technically, you're the one grappled, but I'd allow it. It's a fast action.
Okay. Close combat again?
Uh-huh. Okay. You are,
Yeah, just trying to fight back. Yeah, Tanks is doing the best he can and is not getting out.
it is definitely concerning for those of those surrounding you to watch someone who has been very confident, very calm, very capable be lifted off his feet and just be ineffectual at breaking loose. Always a bad thing. Bugsley's xenomorph is gonna attack Bugsley because Bugsley shot it. Bugsley and xenomorph have a heart-to-heart and an emotional moment as it uses its hypnotizing gaze on them. Okay. Martin, you are in the middle of it's not your turn, but this involves you.
Okay.
You are in the middle of a bunch of containers. You actually see one of the containers next to you in your frozen state of fear. Looks like it has been ripped open from the inside. Probably how at least one of them got out. And there's like acid burns, so that's cool. And it's gonna attack you.
The box?
No, not the box. Sorry, the xenomorph that dragged you out of here.
Oh. You sure?
Yes. It really wants to capture you for the hive. Oh my gosh, you're being kidnapped by a xenomorph. It's the same thing. I'm not gonna re-stab you with it because it's unnecessary at this point. I'm just gonna have since that's what it really wants to do, it's gonna just start dragging you back towards the door you came from. Yeah. You're going on a pleasant stroll with a xenomorph. What more could you ask for? Bugsley is hypnotized at the moment. Oh, yeah, is fine. And is going to recover from that enough to shoot again. Good lord. Completely misses. And is going to disengage. Nope. Yeah, nope. Tries to back up, and there's two factory workers like directly behind her, and like they completely block her path, in their panic. So that's not ideal. Benson, meanwhile, has managed to get open this other door. Turns around, sees all of that going on, which is just generally bad. Bugsley's under attack. Tanks looks like they're about to get his head crushed in. Dan's gone. Martin's gone. Honestly, I feel like the sensible thing to do here is to run. Like,
That's it. Yeah, that's fair.
he's a smart person.
Yeah. Just leave. That's it. Get out so that I have somebody to play when Tank dies.
Yeah, he's gonna just run down the hallway, and try to find something. And that's gonna bring us to is this the one that was attacking Bugsley, which is unfortunate for Bugsley. Okay. And there's very few people left to witness this, but it reaches out and stabs Bugsley, who like staggers in place for a minute. And I think the VTT has decided it hates all of us.
As long as
anyone who's not a xenomorph, because Bugsley also just rolled a 0 and just immediately falls unconscious. You're being taken to mother. What you want to do?
Can I attempt to get out of its grasp, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's like picking you up and dropping you and picking you up and dropping you.
And if I don't try, right? I got a success.
Hey! I'm sorry, I got so many successes.
Guess I'm going to the fucking farmhouse.
I'm so sorry. At least you're not frozen anymore, basically. Now that you've done the frozen. Yep, this is the xenomorph for you. I'm not even gonna roll for it. The dice have decided what this thing wants to do. It's just gonna continue to escort you. There is like damage here, so it is gonna have to take you through the vents. Dan.
So, I don't have vision of this map. Is there a ship here?
Yes, there's nothing physically on the other side of the door. So, yes, there is a ship. It's also, sorry, I neglected so much here. Once the door opened, blasts of cold air. This is an exterior door. So you rolled out into like the snow and cold. You look as you are trying to recover your wits from everything that's happening on the other side of the door, turn and see you are on a like an airstrip sort of, but one for Earth to space vehicles. And there is a short-range space vessel in the corner that has seen better days, but looks like it should, or like it's intact. It's got a windshield, which is more than the Hera can say, so.
All right. Well, I'm going to run to that ship and open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you... I think you managed to get inside pretty easily. And that's gonna be your turn. Which brings us to, Navarre's best friend. Tang's best friend. Let me real fast bring this up. I did roll 1 damage, which is, 2 damage, 1 success. So you do take 2 damage here.
Okay. Head dislocation.
Oh, perfect. That makes sense.
The android's artificial neck is severed, fractured, and its head placed in an unnatural position. All fast actions become slow actions.
Totally.
Oh, severely fractured. I was
Totally.
like, wait, what?
Yeah, the second jaw comes out, bites your head and kind of like twists it, and then the xenomorph drops you because job done. And if there were any PCs around to see this, it would be terrifying, I'm sure. You're, I wouldn't say fine, but you're better than most people would be in this
Still
position.
alive.
You're not
Still
Billy.
alive.
Yeah, so that's great for you. And it's gonna actually completely ignore you and go kill another factory worker.
Okay.
Most of them have fled, to be honest, but a lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
So it's gonna walk away and go to other people. And now it's your turn.
Okay, so I have 2 slow actions. I am just going to, with my broken neck, just drag my body under the door. And then move as much as I can to the ship.
Yeah, so you see Dan climbing into the ship and you are making your way towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Him on the ship. Inside, where are we? Bugsley is gonna get unconscious body. Is going in the way of Martin, just off elsewhere to other places. Martin, you are being. We're gonna, for all intents and purposes, initiative is more or less over here.
Okay.
Dan and Tank, what are you? You get on the ship. What is your plan here?
Can I fix Tank's head? Can I turn it back around, or will that make it worse?
It is a contact roll. There we go.
Yeah. I think Dan is just like very hesitantly like, I'm just gonna, sorry for, I'm just gonna reach and see if I can sort of get you oriented. I'll use a story point. I'll get 1 success on that. But yeah, I'm gonna get your head turned back around. And did anybody else make it?
You see, like, as you're like getting ready to turn his head, like his left eye is twitching constantly, and as he sort of settled it back in, he just shakes his head and thank you. I think that Benson and perhaps one other person made it out, but it wasn't looking good for Bugsley. She was in close combat with one as well, and Martin got dragged off. We need to get this thing airborne.
Yeah, maybe we can. Who do we call? Who do we report this to? Who do we tell about this?
I don't I don't know if there is anybody that we can, honestly. Let's get in the air. We'll make one run to see if anybody else got out of the perimeter and then head to that construction site. We'll figure out the rest. Because this planet was hidden and the people we report to are the ones that hit it. So
Yeah, we can't let them get away with this. We can't let them do this.
true.
Yeah, let's get to the construction site.
Yeah. I'm a pilot, so nothing to it, but I also have, where's my talent?
Full throttle?
Full throttle, yeah.
Yeah. I think I will say, because I believe a shift is 5 hours, we determined minimum. So you probably maybe stop you at 4 health, but I will remove your critical injury.
Okay, that's fine. That works for me.
Just,
thank you.
Yeah. Just because there's no, unless you want to hang out at a construction site for 5 hours, in which case, by all means, have all your health.
No. I mean, I don't know.
Go ahead and give me that piloting check to get out of there before, the xenomorph rolling under the door, oozing under the door, slithering under the door, can catch up to you on ship and bring you in.
Okay. And then does full throttle count in the situation?
Yeah, you're trying to accelerate.
Okay.
Accelerate.
So I get a +2 to that, and then piloting is agility. So I have 8 + 3 is 11 plus
Good
2.
Lord.
Still, with all of that, only 1 success.
What? Horrifying. So you take off, accelerating really fast. You see through the cameras that there is one of the xenomorphs has escaped the building and was running after the ship. But you see it on the ground once you're in the air, so you feel like you escaped that. And as you lift off, you look and see a rather large vessel is starting to descend down towards the other side of this facility that you're just now really getting a good look at. Martin, you are dragged as your body is slowly, gradually stiffening more and more. You are dragged up into the vents and then dropped down into a room filled with eggs. But they don't open as the xenomorph drops down after you, picks you up by the leg, and drags you in deeper. There is another door here, and this one has been double sealed by the lockdown. And you are dropped in the corner. There's some webbing situation going on. And then the xenomorph rips open its own chest and spews acid over the door. And as you start to fall unconscious, you see Bugsley dropped next to you by a second xenomorph, who also rips itself open as acid eats through the doors. And the last thing you hear is the rattling hiss of the xenomorph queen, waiting to be released. Thank you for joining us here in the collapse of society.
Me and Dan about to be best friends.
What an unlikely duo.
What an unlikely duo.
Oh, I have been your game mother, and we have been Goblins and Gays. You can find us at Goblins and Gays all across the internet, including Twitch, Navarre, and Michelle. Where can we find you?
Please, maybe.
Thank you. I have been Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. You can find me anywhere I want to be found at Alesha Kills. That is ALESHAKILLS. And I cannot make it clear enough. I designed Daniel to die.
You did. But Tank is a nice android and saved you, even though we're rivals. Hi, I'm Navar. You can find me at NAVAARSNP. Do a bunch of different stuff. Check out Secret Nerd Podcast for upcoming actual play about The Corrupted 10-part series. And this is a lot of fun. This is incredible. So Alien is a scary game.
It is. Keep an eye on the vents, because oh boy, we know what's lurking in them. We know. Say goodbye, Hera Crew.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, I guess.